Imagine standing before the Great Sphinx of Giza, its massive form rising from the desert sands, its gaze fixed toward the horizon. But there's something missing, a nose, roughly a meter wide, cleanly sheared away from the face of the ancient guardian. For centuries, a story has circulated that the nose was blown off by cannonballs fired by Napoleon's troops. This tale, repeated in travel guides and history books, is almost certainly false. The legend's origins are murky, but it gained traction in the 19th century, possibly from a German traveler's account. However, early European illustrations of the Sphinx, drawn before Napoleon's campaign in Egypt, already show the nose missing. So if not Napoleon, who or what was responsible? The answer lies not in the age of gunpowder, but in the medieval Islamic world, where a tale of vandalism and punishment survives in Arabic chronicles. The most detailed account comes from the 15th century historian al-Makhrizi, who wrote that a Sufi zealot named Sam al-Dahr chiseled off the nose in a fit of religious fervor. According to the story, Sam al-Dahr was enraged because local peasants were making offerings to the Sphinx, hoping for a good harvest or relief from a drought. He saw this as idolatry, a practice that went against his strict Islamic beliefs. In 1378, during a period of famine, Sam al-Dahr climbed the massive statue and deliberately hammered away at its nose. For his crime, he was captured and executed by authorities. His body hung from the Sphinx itself as a warning. But is this story true? Historians approach it with caution. Al-Makhrizi wrote decades after the event, and no contemporary source confirms the exact date or details of the vandalism. The absence of the nose from early European sketches, like those made by Frederick Norden in 1737, suggests that the damage occurred long before Napoleon arrived in 1798. But it doesn't pinpoint the exact century. Physical examinations of the Sphinx offer clues. The nose was deliberately cut with chisels, not blasted by a cannon. The workmanlike removal suggests a targeted effort, likely by a person or small group, rather than an artillery barrage. The Sufi zealot theory aligns with this evidence. Chiseling a nose off a massive limestone statue would require considerable effort and time, a task more suited to a determined individual than a random act of war. Yet some scholars question whether Sam al-Dahr was the original culprit, or if he simply damaged a statue that had already lost its nose centuries earlier. Arabic texts from before the 14th century are silent on the matter. What we know for certain is that the nose was gone by the time of the Mamluks, who ruled Egypt in the 13th and 14th centuries. The Mamluks had a history of defacing statues, seeing them as symbols of polytheism. Indeed, the Sphinx has suffered other indignities over the millennia. It endured sand burial, erosion, and even a beard that fell off and now sits in the British Museum. The nose, however, remains its most enduring mystery. Some speculate that the nose was deliberately removed to destroy the Sphinx's godlike image, making it merely human. In many ancient cultures, mutilating a statue's nose was a way to rob it of its power, to kill the spirit within. This practice was common in ancient Egypt itself, where tomb robbers and rivals defaced carvings to prevent the deceased from benefiting from their offerings. In that light, Sam al-Dahr's act fits a long tradition. Despite the legends, there is no credible evidence that Napoleon's soldiers ever fired at the Sphinx. The myth likely arose from a confusion with the Battle of the Pyramids, where French cannons did bombard Egyptian forces, but not the statue. In reality, Napoleon was an admirer of ancient Egyptian culture, and he even took scholars to study the monuments. His expedition to Egypt in 1798 laid the foundation for modern Egyptology. The story of his cannonballs may have been perpetuated by early travelers who saw the damage and assumed it was war-related. But the chisel marks tell a different tale, one of deliberate surgical vandalism. So, who truly took the Sphinx's nose? The most likely answer based on available evidence, is al-dahr, the Sufi zealot. But the lack of contemporary records leaves room for doubt, and the mystery endures. What we can say is that the nose's absence is a testament to centuries of human upheaval, religious fervor, military conquest, and cultural shifts. It's a reminder that even the most enduring monuments are not immune to history's tumult. The next time you see the Sphinx, know that its broken face is not a battlefield scar, but perhaps a mark of religious outrage. And amidst the sand and silence, the true story remains as elusive as the statue's original nose. Subscribe for more stories like this.